welcome back to Code A, the Challenger League for Korea here. And we're going into our second set of Zerg versus Protoss. Protoss looking really, really strong right now in this matchup if they can get to the late game, as Curious just experienced against Sora, taking the 0-2.
Yeah, Sora once again taking the 0-2 here, and the Startail Zerg goes down to Code B. So we'll see if Life can do better against Trust, which is going to be our next game here at the GSL. Yep. WCS Challenger League to be exact.
And if you guys look down here below, you can see that Sora will advance to face Pig Baby and a Protoss versus Protoss. So he has to play a PvP next.
Yep. And the Gatekeeper has been defeated. Sora on his way to maybe Code S right away. He at least already accomplished that goal. And he might be able to go straight into the Premier League. In Pig Baby, he has a Protoss player as his next opponent. And then if he advances to the finals, to the third round, then he's going to face either Reality or Bang, a Terran player therefore.
Now, just looking at these two players, you can see at the bottom there that Life, of course, fell from the up and downs. He was not able to get into Code S this season. On the other hand, Trust made it through the preliminaries, so he had to go through that rigorous qualifier. So that's how they got here in the first place.
Yeah, and currently, actually, we were discussing this a little bit. Like during the break, we saw the ad for the game that they had here on the screen, Eternity Warriors 2. I have to admit that usually I'm not really all into those game ads that they have. Of course, with the exception of Zuzu Bubble. I mean,
yes.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, indeed.
But that game, that Eternity Warriors thing, actually looked really interesting, so we're going to give that a shot. But now we're going back to Starcraft and having a look at the first game in our Zerg vs. Protoss series between Life and Trust here at the WCS Challenger League. All on board. And starting to the top right, we have the second Zerg player for Team Startail today in this best of 3 on the first map, the Relict Watcher. It is
Startail Life.
Is he really doing a 10 pull here? Because he always does that. 10 drones.
He always goes into 11, yeah.
He always does that. I didn't see.
Yeah,
he goes for He's doing it again.
The bottom left, we have his opponent. This is, of course, a Protoss player, and it is
CJN2's Trust.
You know, sometimes you do probably Zuzu Bubble, and it brings a lot of memories for me. Sometimes I just look around my room and I find my phone and I look at it. I see it's still got Zuzu Bubble installed. I look at the EXTRA. I'm trying to spell extra, and just it reminds me of happier times, and we had that cheerful music playing in all of our breaks.
I don't know, like the one game that still haunts me is just Dragonflight.
Oh yeah, Dragonflight,
I cannot get rid of this game. It's so old, and I feel like I'm the only person in the world who still plays it, but every now and then I just have to, and I don't know why.
Yeah, you know, the thing is, I don't even play it, but I won't uninstall it. I uninstalled it once, and I was like, nah, and I reinstalled it, but didn't play.
And I
don't know what's up with that.
They always release a new patch, and there's always something new in there, even after a year, and I'm like, what, really? Okay, I'm going to give it another look, and then I play it for a couple of weeks, and I'm like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
It's just such a good time killer.
It's addicting, man. Back in China, we were in WSG last year. I think I spent like 3 hours a day. I'm like asking everybody for wings. I'm telling everybody to install the game so they can send me wings.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's like just a perfect time killer, especially when you're in Subway or whatever. And
we have just a standard opening for both of these players here. As you can see, Gateway Expand as expected from Trust, who, by the way, has oftentimes below 100 APM I've been looking at here. Again, we talked about this yesterday at the GSL with our new overlay. We could see the APM constantly, and he's just chilling.
The new overlay is so incredibly good. It's really amazing. I love it. Not only the APM, but that you see the income, that you see the work account and the army supply. There's so many information that you can read right off the screen where you don't have to just look up those special tabs. I really love the work that they put in there.
Yeah. And it's just, the thing is, it's not overwhelming, the information either. That's what I like about it. It's very simple.
Exactly. Well, talking about this game actually a little bit, and especially about the two players, we had earlier the situation that Curious was in a very tough matchup for him, since he didn't really shine in this matchup in Heart of the Swarm. With Life, it's a little bit different. He has nearly a 75% win ratio in this particular matchup in Heart of the Swarm, always, of course, looking at his offline performance. 26 map wins and 9 losses. His recent opponents that he defeated were Deer, Trap. He won against Tark, DreamHack, Bucharest, against Venus and Elfie. Took down Hero before that in the up and downs, and he has a pretty good track record in this particular matchup. Trust, on the other hand, don't know too much about him in this matchup in particular. Only 5 maps played, he won 3 of them, so 60%, but with only 5 maps, that doesn't really tell you a whole lot. Yeah. So live, from the experience that he has, especially in an offline environment in front of camera, I would give him the edge here. But we've seen, as you already said, Protoss players do really well these days against Zerg if they can get that third base up and just get their army into the game.
Yeah, what is that? That little thing underneath the Overlord. It looks like, I don't know, looks like a totem of some kind. I just noticed that for the first time. I'll point it out next time I see it again, but anyways.
Like a Hearthstone totem?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. It's like a Protoss totem.
Mana Tai totem.
That's one of my favorite cards. I don't use Flame Tongue, but it gets used against me a lot. That card gives me problems.
Yeah, I don't know why you don't use that.
I don't know. I much prefer just having Mana Tides. I've got Nat Pagel. I like Nat Pagel so much, man. Today I played
99%.
The thing is, 3 times in a row he didn't draw me a card, and he got silenced, and I was not happy.
If I was your opponent, I see Nat Pagel don't give you a card like 3 times in a row, and I don't waste my silence on that.
He wasted his silence on it actually after the 3rd time I didn't draw. He used the Owl. Or not the Owl Spellbreaker, but...
Oh my god.
Anyways, we have a lair now on the way. And that Overlord up to the north is getting chased down here. He might actually get it.
Yeah, sorry for that Hearthstone excursion, but we are a little bit excited since apparently the Hearthstone beta wipe is going to happen tonight. Oh, Overlord just escapes. So that means that Hearthstone is going to be reset, and then everyone who has a beta can actually like take the cards that he earns and all the achievements into the game, the release game beta.
Oh, is it not going to be reset a second time?
No.
Oh, okay.
Unless I have wrong information, but I'm pretty sure all the cards and everything that you earn is going to be then transferred to the original game. This is why it's so exciting that the wipe is actually happening.
I'm going to be opening like 200 packs on stream whenever that finally finishes patching.
Well, right now in Starcraft, on the other hand, we have the 3rd base coming up for Life, but actually Life is taking that 3rd base much, much later than his opponent here. The 3rd or 4th Trust is already halfway done. Life is going into +1/+1 for the ranged units here, and with the lair tech already completed, we see him with the speed for the Roaches. On the other hand, we have not a single unit lost apparently here.
No structures lost is what popped up there for a second.
I only glimpsed it for a second, I was like, what?
Yeah. That Overlord didn't die, and you know what? I guess there might have been no units lost, but this Mothership Core is going to die. Yeah. Wow, what a huge oversight there. That was actually embarrassingly bad.
Yeah, there we have the units lost, and with the Mothership Core gone, that is an issue.
That was like, what? I mean, he has a lot of queens, maybe didn't expect that, but... You know, why not just use these Phoenixes to scout? What was he really gaining from that? Maybe that was a misclick. I'm not sure what was going on there. As it is, Blink is coming up. +2. Very similar builds to what we saw actually just earlier from Sora. Just playing it a very similar style. Getting the fast 3rd, adding the gateways at the wall, getting +2 in Blink. You know, almost the exact same build with the same sentries. Just a Mothership Core dead. That's the main difference here with how they played it.
Yeah, and one of the things that we have in this game here is both players playing like really passive. What I like about Life is that he's currently focusing a lot on his creep spread, so he's using the time where he's just sitting tight in his base to spread the creep as much as he can, get a little bit of an early warning system against the move outs of his opponent, and also, of course, that speed advantage. And both armies are actually passing each other like shadows in the night at this point. The Roaches on the way to the bottom left, trying to aim straight for the natural, and at the same time the Protoss army is approaching the creep.
Yeah, and he does not have that recall ability. He's going to force field once here, but that's all he's got.
Oh, he's not even force fielding.
What is he doing? He's just going to recall.
There's the force field finally, but that Forge is actually very much exposed, and if he takes it down, then this is it for the upgrades, at least for now. A couple of the Roaches already moving in.
He must not have enough energy. He's not recalling.
Yeah, this is... he lost the Mothership Core.
He recalled the wrong base.
Well,
he wants to trap him outside, maybe.
But he lost the Forge now, and therefore he loses the upgrade, and Life is happy to sacrifice these few Roaches.
Oh,
the force fields are working against the Protoss player now.
He's just going to kill probes here, then go and kill probes in the main base.
He split 3 Roaches off into the main base, and with 3 Roaches you can one-shot a single probe easily. So that's what he's currently doing, just moving in, taking down Harvesters. 9 killed already, kills another one, goes up to 12, 13 Harvesters killed. Life doing a really good job here in the early game, and for Trust, that is becoming an issue. I mean, look at his army supply alone, 37 to 71.
I mean, this idea with the Mothership Core to trap the roaches on the outside was just not a good one. I mean, I see the idea. Like you said, it just takes 3 to kill a probe, so that's why he's got these 3 like this. He kills so many more workers, and he's basically making it like Trust never even had a third base at all with how much he's lost, how much economy has been really damaged here. So much more Chrono Boost now having to be used on the probes and not the upgrades, and also just his income's severely impacted by this. And the Roach in the main lives with 4 kills.
And a big problem just were those force fields. I mean, they were basically, if suddenly for some reason Life had sentries, that was the force fields that he would have put down to force the Protoss player out and move into the main base. So yeah, Trust didn't do himself any favors here in this particular scenario. And right now he's 60 supply already behind. He has the worst economy. We're going into the 4th base for Life. Life is now adding not only Hydralisk, we have him with the Infestation Pit, the +2 attack upgrade is nearly completed, and Trust lost his Forge. So his own +2 has just now been restarted.
This is going to be awkward here because you can't fight that many Hydras in the open.
Without Colossi?
Yeah, not without Colossi, no way. And a few good force fields here are going to help out, especially with the Blink Micro. But eventually the Hydras are close in the distance and they're targeting the sentries. Nicely done.
Exactly, the Hydras with their DPS are going to town right now, and the Time Warp is not going to change that at all. The Stalkers doing their best. The Blink Micro is excellent by Trust, but there's only so much that he can really do. The DPS of the Hydralisk is too much for him to handle right now, and we have even more units streaming across the map to the bottom left to finish this in favor of Life.
It just looks like, I mean, he has too much. The reinforcements here alone are going to do so much more damage, and Life can make these trades because he's so far ahead, and even if he doesn't end the game here, it doesn't matter. He's doing some weird burrow micro there, but now he's going to push these Stalkers back. The Colossus may get targeted here.
Yeah, the Colossus has to retreat, yet moves in the wrong direction and goes down.
The pylons were going to get some there. I think he thought he could fit between them, but he definitely could not, and I think that's actually just it. That's game here.
That has to be it. It's 12 army supply against 113 right now. The Zerg player not only in Trust's face, no, he's in his army, and he takes down every single probe now as well. He goes straight for everything that the Protoss players accumulated at the natural, and this is just way too much. The DT's maybe the saving grace for now, since there's no detection at the bottom left just yet, but in the long run, there's no way that Trust is going to recover from this.
And there's the detection and the GG.
GG in game. Life takes game number 1 against Trust, taking the lead against the Protoss player.
I wonder why Life does that with his face, by the way. This iconic image of Life putting his hands on his face like that. It's like his victory face. It's like how he claps.
It's like he wants to emulate the pictures. I guess the name of the picture is The Shout?
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called in English, but I guess...
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, it's probably going to be called The Shout, and that's kind of what it looks like all the time.
It almost looks like he's cracking his knuckles using his face. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not exactly sure what he's doing there, but... Akalon wastes his map number 2. Actually, a great map for Protoss in this matchup, so this could be the game where Trust turns it around.
I mean, he needs to do something here. Let's just be quite honest. In game number 1, he didn't look good.
No, his Mothership Core control was atrocious, and...
There were just a couple of things that didn't work for him. I think he probably thought he could escape with the Mothership Core, didn't realize that there were 2 Queens at the bottom that suddenly cut his retreat path off. So if not for these small things, that could have added a lot, because suddenly he would have had more energy on the Mothership Core, he could have used the recall earlier, maybe even an overcharge on the Nexus. With a better recall, he might have been able to just defend that early attack of Life. Better force fields would have done a lot. But small things just, or maybe big things, worked against Trust, and then it just completely spiraled out of control. But for Life, everything is now going according to plan, but he still has to win 1 more map today.
Yeah, 1 more map is what he needs here, and it looks strong in game number 1. Trust wants to change things on this Protoss favored map here, the WCS Korea Challenger League. Life up against Trust, casted by Kalon.